As I'm sure most of you know by now, the Lions lost this weekend against the Packers, which I don't really think anyone went in there expecting anything else. I mean, especially when we had Okuda, Everson Griffin, and Trey Flowers continues to remain out. There's almost no way that Rodgers was not going to tear apart our defense and Aaron Jones, which honestly, I'm surprised Aaron Jones didn't have a bigger game than he actually had. We kind of held him, I wouldn't say in check. He still had a pretty decent game against us, but he didn't explode like I thought he would. I went in with low expectations, expecting to lose, and they actually made it a game and made it exciting. I'm really surprised. We didn't get any sacks. We did get a little bit of pressure on Aaron Rodgers, and that's the biggest thing. If you let Aaron Rodgers sit in the pocket, you can't beat him. He's just going to tear you apart no matter what. So, but overall, it was an okay game. DeAndre Swift, this is his first game back in a couple weeks after suffering that concussion. He looked okay. He only had, I think, 67 yards total, but still he looked back to his normal self, still cutting and elusive and all that. So there's hope there. It's not going to be hopefully another job at best situation where he's out the rest of his career due to concussion. But what did you think about this game, Dalton?
Well, going into it, obviously, like you said, not high hopes, not high expectations. Kind of figured we were going to get blown out. Like, it wasn't really going to be a game. We only came into the game having 3 starting cornerbacks.
Mm-hmm.
So it was just kind of like, oh God, Devontae Adams and Aaron Rodgers is just going to pick apart our defense, and it's going to be a really long, boring game for us, just watching us get absolutely demolished.
Mm-hmm.
Which then also Everson Griffin got activated on the COVID list the night before the game, so then it was like, oh God, now we're not even going to have a pass rush, so Aaron Rodgers is going to have all day to throw. It's just going to be a bad game. No, that's not the case at all. Aaron Rodgers, yes, there was a couple plays where Aaron Rodgers did get all day to throw. There's one play in particular where Romeo Cora went to cut in and the Packers guy just like threw him to the ground, and then it like basically took out all of our defensive line.
Yeah.
There's that play, but a lot of the times Aaron Rodgers was having to scramble out of the pocket because of the pocket collapsing and us getting a pressure on Rodgers. So obviously that's a good sign. Austin Bryant came back this week, played good. Obviously, he didn't have any sacks or a blocked punt or anything this week. Got pressure. I see a lot of fans saying that they don't want Darrell Bevell as our head coach and stuff next year after like losing to Green Bay and stuff. But Green Bay is first in the NFC.
Yeah,
right
this
now.
is a team that's probably going to be in the NFC Championship, possibly even the Super Bowl this year. Their team is that good, and they've just been atop the NFC all year. So,
and we lost by 1 score to them.
Exactly.
Where we had a chance to even score and tie the game and everything.
Yeah, key injuries, that's the biggest thing, especially this late in the year. All teams have injuries, so can't use that as an excuse. But the silver lining with this game, which a lot of fans don't like hearing this, is it was a moral victory. A lot of Lions fans hate that and don't believe in moral victories and blah, blah, blah. But honestly, we went up, as I just said, against a possible Super Bowl contender, and we held our own. And honestly, if you go back and look at 2 plays, we could have won that game. In the third quarter, we had them on third down, 2-3 times, I think. And then we got them to fourth down. Then all of a sudden, a late holding call came out of nowhere. They never replayed the play. So it came like 10 seconds after the field goal unit was already coming, or punting unit was already coming onto the field. And then they just reverse it.
If you're calling the hold, you need to call it the minute it happened.
Exactly.
Not as punting teams coming on and stuff, then you're throwing a flag and you're like, yep, holding. Like, no, you can't do that.
Exactly. And then same thing with the Marvin Jones. It wasn't a touchdown, but right on the 1-2 yard line, we easily could have scored there.
And a thing to think about too is Marvin Jones that gets called a catch. We're at the 1 yard line. Stafford doesn't have to scramble out a couple plays later and gets injured and gets taken out of the game.
Exactly, yes. Which that is another major takeaway from this game. Obviously, the health of Matthew Stafford is uncertain at the moment. As of right now, the injury report for Wednesday hasn't come out. All we know is that he was in a lot of pain on Monday, and the x-rays came back negative. So we know it's not broken ribs, but more than likely it's probably a fractured rib or something to do with a bruised rib, something like that.
And people within the organization are not optimistic that he is going to play.
Yeah, we're just going to have to wait and see how he feels throughout the week. We have seen it in the past. Tons of quarterbacks have played with either fractured or bruised ribs. They just wear one of those huge looking like bulletproof vest looking things around their torso when they play. Maybe Lee Stafford starts and he just does kind of more of a limited role, just a lot of leaning on Swift a lot, maybe a little bit more run game, maybe just screen passes, something like that. I don't know. But I do know when Chase Daniels was in, he didn't throw anything, I think, further than 5 yards down the field. So, which I know when you're coming in the middle of a game, you're not expected to haul it down the field. But definitely, if Chase Daniels is going to be the starting quarterback, we're going to have to open up the playbook a little bit more than just some screen passes and some slant routes 5 yards up the field.